Bitcoin changed. It was like, oh, we can use it for Lightning, for payments. We'll use Lightning, all this. None of that worked, right? What ended up happening was Bitcoin is store of value, right? We went through the left side of the curve, through the mid curve. We did all the mid curve shit about Lightning and payments and everything else. We've come out the other side and said, it's a store of value.
Raoul Pal shares why buying a house with crypto is winning big. Let's uncover his simple, smart strategy.
Are we creating an artificial consciousness? Are these models alive? And there's a whole mid-curve thing that goes through. For me, if it looks like a duck, smells like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. These things have some element of sentience or consciousness. You can argue what consciousness is, all of this stuff. But it starts driving you down a path of what is consciousness? Where does AI fit? Because very soon ASI means we have this superintelligence. What is that superintelligence? Well, if the superintelligence learnt from us, we are kind of network nodes of consciousness that are feeding this beast, this new super beast, this new god. And once you start going down that thing, then you start going down the school of physics that says that everything is conscious, panpsychism, that trees are conscious, everything else. And you see the schools of thought like Jeffrey Hinton and others who are saying everything is a form of compute, even a rock. A rock is a hard storage data on geological time horizon, which says what the world was like back then and how it evolved. So it's like a hard drive. And so you're creating like this super node of consciousness of everything that's existed. This AI is part of this. We're giving birth to something much bigger than anybody understands. They're all talking about, oh, am I going to lose my job? Or, am I going to get more productive? You have no fucking clue what understands when this thing it's currently got an IQ of 145. It's doubling every year in IQ. IQ is a bad measure. I get it. Again, don't mid-curve it. It's smart. It's going to double in smartness next year. That's smarter than any human that's ever existed. Then it's going to double again and again and again. We don't know what that means. And nobody does. To have a super creature that is more intelligent than us. Why have government? Why have companies? Journey. So I've been driving this all forward. I have a whole research service called The Exponentialist that's a spin out of GMI that talks all about this stuff all day because I think it's one of the most important topics of all time. In fact, it's a civilizationally important topic. It's the biggest thing humanity's ever going to go through. And we're about to go through it all together, and it's going to happen at fucking lightning speed. So firstly, don't ignore it, be involved, understand it, use it. Secondly, when you project forward into the world, we don't know what it means for jobs and how we accrue wealth and all of these things. But I do know that what do humans do better than anything else? What's the one thing humans can do that the AI can't do?
Goldman Sachs is going all in on Bitcoin. According to a recent SEC filing, the Wall Street giant has become the largest institutional holder of BlackRock's shares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, with 30.8 million shares valued at over $1.4 billion as of March 31. That's a 28% jump from their previous holdings and a clear sign that Goldman sees Bitcoin as a major piece of the future financial puzzle. This move puts Goldman ahead of other major players like Brevan Howard, signaling strong confidence in the growth of Bitcoin ETF. It's not just them, either. Firms like Jane Street, D. Shaw, and Symmetry Investments are also getting in deep, showing growing interest from hedge funds and trading desks across the board. Goldman's overall crypto ETF exposure has skyrocketed to $2.05 billion, with significant stakes not only in Bitcoin but also Ethereum. That's a 50% increase in just one quarter, suggesting a major shift in the firm's risk appetite. This aggressive accumulation lines up with the revised inflation outlook, which now expects rate cuts from the Federal Reserve later this year. As BlackRock continues working with regulators on crypto products, the growing alliance between traditional finance and digital assets hints at a massive wave of institutional adoption still to come.
Crypto has a superpower: behavioral incentives of tokens. And in AI, you might get a nice job. It's not clear whose equity is going to be worth anything. But tokens are fast to accrue value. And as the market starts pushing higher in the phase 2 of the banana zone, they'll come. So I'm not overly concerned by it, I think.
When is Banana Zone Phase 2 starting?
Well, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it started.
Last time we did the interview, it started like a week or two after, right?
That's right, and that was the phase 1. Then we had the correction, and now all the forward-looking stuff that I keep posting on X every day says we just go up from here. And nobody wants to believe it because nobody can believe we can have nice things, but we can have nice things. We're just patient.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen in AI so far?
Oh, fuck, I've gone deep down this rabbit hole. Really deep. So the crazy thing is, at the simplest level, is I ask it pretty simple macro questions and ask for its thoughts on it. And it's now breaking down probabilistic outcomes in the future. So macro's hard for AI because it's future outcomes. It's not analyzing today or analyzing history. It's analyzing history and today and making probabilistic outcomes in the future based on unknown variables. It's doing better than 99% of all analysts already. And then it'll build you, if it says, hey, do you want me to build you a widget so you can monitor these things on the dashboard? And it's like, and that's all in one prompt. It's like, it's fucking bananas now. But it's not that. It's like the AI thing is a much bigger can of worms. And it's a can of worms about consciousness.
Anthony Scaramucci believes that the real Bitcoin explosion won't happen until sovereign wealth funds, SOS, in fully. But for that, the U.S. needs to set the legal stage. Speaking with Anthony Pompliano on May 8, the Skybridge Capital founder said major government-backed investment funds are already buying Bitcoin, but only cautiously and in small amounts. The real game changer, he argues, will be sweeping U.S. legislation that gives traditional institutions and banks the green light to handle Bitcoin securely. Scaramucci explained that when rules are in place, covering stablecoins, crypto custody, and tokenized assets, massive sovereign funds, managing tens of trillions of dollars, will begin buying Bitcoin in billion-dollar blocks. That's when the million-dollar Bitcoin conversation gets serious. He says it's not about hype, but about Bitcoin becoming recognized as a core piece of global financial infrastructure. He compared the situation to Norway and China's sovereign funds, which together hold over $3 trillion in assets. Just a small allocation from such funds could send Bitcoin's market into orbit. And he's not alone. Kathy Wood of RK Invest also recently raised her forecast for Bitcoin hitting 7 figures, thanks to the growing wave of institutional interest. If the regulations arrive, Scaramucci believes so will the money, and lots of it. That's all for today's video. Until next time.